everybody? Welcome to the third annual Kinda Honey podcast. Yay! Today I am joined by three of the Kinda Honeys. We have one, Miss Genevieve Saint-Ange Miller. Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Am I supposed to speak? Oh my god.
Yes, you can say hi.
Hello.
We have one, Gia Tapley Harris, almost Gettys.
Hi.
And one, Paula Coelho.
Guys.
You forgot.
Oh, sorry. We also have one Mr. Pamplemousse Andres Gettys joining us for the podcast today because he and Gia are attached to the hip at all times.
You gotta be.
And prefers to be with Gia at all times. But yes, welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. Every week, 4 people, not usually us, join around a metaphorical table to talk about whatever they want to talk about this week. This week, we're going to be rehashing some of the most contentious debates that the podcast has gone over during these quarantine months. I know you guys are really excited to hear our take on the burger debate. And yeah, we're excited to hang out and talk because it's been a very long time since all 4 of us have seen each other. Which is
when was the last time we did this? 2018?
Yeah, because I don't think we did one last year.
Mm-mm.
Because we were all traveling for the world tour and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. I want to thank our Kind of Funny Patreon producers, Muhammad, Stevie Combs, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Blackjack, Lee Polero, Kieran O'Donnell, Steve Powers, Chaminda Hangil Pola, I think. I think that's how you say it. And today we're sponsored by Honey, DraftKings, and Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. But Tim's going to tell you about that a little bit later. First of all, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Everybody's just hanging out. Everybody enjoyed their 4-day weekend and thankfully didn't completely melt by the looks of it.
San Francisco, it's never hot until it is.
No.
Joey,
I mean, it's
like how you-
unbearably.
4 days.
I like how you
were
called it on a 4-day weekend when it was definitely a 3-day
3.
weekend.
Listen,
What
I
a
called 4
time.
different people by the wrong name today, so my
Yeah.
brain mentally still kind of on vacation.
I still feel to this day like it's May 18th. So I don't know.
I know
Like,
somehow we're almost
yeah.
halfway through September or a third of the way. It's just really quite bonkers. Okay, we're going to dive in to the first topic. The first topic was brought to us kind of secondhand from the community Zooms that happen every weekend. The question that got posed is, will Andy's girlfriend, hypothetical girlfriend, get invited to Tim and Gia's wedding? Gia, do you have strong feelings about the girlfriend that Andy doesn't have yet, but may have in time for your wedding?
Yeah, very excited to meet her. Heard so much about her. No, I mean, Tim and I are both really inclusive people, and so we want, we don't need our wedding to be a super exclusive event. So I, for the most part, feel the more the merrier, although, within reason. So assuming that Andy has a girlfriend that we have heard about and he's told us about, I would say she probably makes the cut. She probably gets on the list. He's not going to have a generic +1 to bring, someone that we've never heard about. But as long as we can address the invitation to him and this hypothetical girlfriend, she's in.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like with all the wedding circuit things that maybe aren't happening right now, but have happened in the past, do you feel that you've always gotten have you ever gone to a wedding where you've gotten just a generic +1, or is it usually only if you're with partners?
I feel like I trust the people I invite to bring people that I know we would probably want to include in the celebrations. Of course, Greg and I had a very small elopement, but if we did a full-scale wedding, I feel like I would trust the decision of my friends. So even if I don't know them fully, their +1, I would be okay, I think.
But would you give them a generic blank +1?
Yeah, everyone gets to bring
Everyone gets to bring somebody.
Oh. Yeah, probably actually. Yeah. Yeah. Because I trust my friends to bring good people over, I think.
And it is like a fun party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's expensive. I mean, in
Yeah.
most cases you're
Yeah.
paying per head. So I think that's where there has to be a little bit of
Curation.
curation.
We
Creeper.
definitely did not give everyone a +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's because we legitimately like couldn't without spending so much more money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. It doubles
So-
your list or more or
Yeah.
less. Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was,
that's
so, I
true.
mean, assuming they had like a significant other though, yeah, of course they got a +1. But like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna give you a +1 and you can just bring like whoever you want. Or
Yeah.
or some of my friends who I knew they wouldn't really know anyone, I'd be like, hey, is there anyone you want to bring? And
Yeah.
then, I'd talk to them about it. But I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
makes sense because you
Yeah.
end up paying for this rendo that maybe you
Yeah.
would
And I
not buy
mean-
dinner for any other day.
Yeah. And it's just like so many people already that you're
Yeah.
inviting. At least in our case, that's how it was. But it was like kind of I don't know. I felt bad though, saying like, no, you
Yeah.
can't bring someone.
Well,
But,
don't tell
yeah.
Tim, but like the most fun I've ever had at weddings has been when I've gone solo.
Yeah.
Tim has
Meet
had
people.
I 100% believe you on this. I
Yeah.
can see it happening.
I
Yeah.
believe that you could have fun though, but I would like feel I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so awkward. I just stand in a
It's
corner
on
and be like, I don't know
who
what
it
to do.
is too. Like if it's somebody like your long-term childhood best friend who like doesn't know any of like your
Yeah.
current crew, it's like, oh, I don't want you to have like a bad time.
Right.
If you just came by yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
But if it's like
Yeah.
somebody that's like part of your normal crew and is going to know a lot of people at the wedding, I don't know that I'd give like just a blanket +1
Yeah,
because I like know people and stuff.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And at least in my case, I got a lot of questions just being like, I don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Can I just bring my friend? And like, those were the ones I was saying no to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know,
fair.
because it's not fair for you to like have to pay for just like a fun like dress up night out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. It was just legitimately like, if I said yes to all these people, it would be more than we could like afford for our wedding.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I
So
know. I've only-
Paula, oh sorry, Joey, go
go
ahead.
for it.
In your wedding photos, are there a bunch of like exes that have made the photos who are no longer in the picture? Like, do you wish you'd been like not invited the +1s?
Let me think. No, well, so my wedding photos were mostly family. So family and like bridal party. So I don't think so. One of my friends did break up with her boyfriend right before the wedding. And like it was a little bit of a thing of like he wasn't the best to her, so I was a little bit like, oh well, I guess it's good, that it happens. Like at least it wasn't in the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been to weddings where that's been an issue, but it wasn't really for mine actually. There weren't a ton of like people that wound up breaking up afterwards.
Yeah, I guess there's like usually not that many pictures of like significant others and like proper wedding stuff.
Yeah.
Like because the bridal party isn't normally going to have like their significant others unless they're also in the bridal party.
I was thinking more just like the candid dance floor stuff where
Oh,
all
yeah.
the
Oh,
greatest
yeah, there's
moments.
definitely
The
people that
photo
have
booth
broken up.
pictures.
But that doesn't really that doesn't upset me though. Like if they're in the random, like it's just like, oh yeah, that was fun. Like,
Oh my god.
it's a memory.
Going to town on your hair, and it's very funny.
Moose is concerned he won't be invited, so he's acting
keeps
out.
it up.
Will he get a prominent role at the
Who's
Gettys
can be
Harris
the ring bearer?
nuptials?
He has to be the ring bearer.
Yeah.
He'll eat the ring.
That's concerning.
I know, I'll be-
hopefully- You just have to like attach it to something really big and that he doesn't like, which I
Oh
guess
my
is
God.
not very many things.
I know.
Okay, so to spin off of that, how do you feel about children at weddings?
I would say hard no, which makes me
Yeah.
a hypocrite based on what I said about inclusivity at weddings right before.
I tried to say no kids at my wedding and got a very angry phone call from my mother.
Oh yeah?
So that was that.
I'm pro
Yeah.
kid for sure at my wedding, but actually only kids. And that's why, can you like pick and choose the kids? Because I'd like to
Set your
Yeah.
own rules.
invite
I want to.
children who like my family, my cousins and their children. It would
Yeah.
feel weird not to have them there, but not if it's like kids I don't know.
I want to witness the phone call of you telling someone that they can't specifically bring their
Yeah, because if
child.
you say say no kids, and then there's clearly you can't really hide that other kids show up.
So you would just have to like play like on the RSVP card. Like you would just have to like very clearly say like you have
What's it?
2 adult spots or something like that.
Yeah.
But like who knows if that works? Or I feel like there's going to be probably people that are like, oh, they didn't think about the kids and just like assume and bring them in.
Yeah,
That
and just
seems
bring
like that would
them.
be a nightmare.
Well, I think the most important thing about being a wedding guest and probably also a wedding host is like, don't assume anything. You
Yeah.
be really
Mhm.
explicit. If you're confused, you ask questions. Like, do not assume you get a +1. Do not assume your kids are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also the thing is venues will usually charge more if they have to make a kids menu.
Mm.
I know mine did. And it was like there were only that actually the reason I was trying to say no children is just because there were only 5 children.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I have to pay so much more for like this kids, this special kids menu. But yeah, I wound up just paying for it.
Yeah. I know it is hard when it's like when there's like the few kids that you do want or other people want you to have at the wedding. But I feel like I've been to like a few like more like kind of casual weddings that had like a ton of kids. And there was just like a herd of them running around and it was kind of chaotic. So I guess it also depends on like what kind of wedding you're having. Because if it's just like a casual like outdoor or like backyard wedding, then maybe it's like not as wild than if you're like
Totally
in a ballroom or like and everybody's like in long dresses and they're all over the dance floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun and entertaining when like a kid really like gets down in the middle of a group of people. But then sometimes it's like, okay, you've been there for like 30 minutes now. And some of us, we would like to like get on the dance floor. So I can see it going either way.
Maybe I'm just projecting because I definitely was that one kid that got really sick at a wedding and vomited
on the dance floor.
No, I somehow found my way to it was an event space, and so they had the food set up, and they had like a little side kitchen, and there was a huge industrial sink there. And somehow as a child I found the sink, and that's where I went. And I'm like, for maybe from that moment forward they were like, no more kids and this venue for weddings. I don't know, but
you were just like wandering around seeing what kind of trouble you could get into.
Yeah. I would go table to table and ask people to give me their empty cans and empty bottles because I wanted the money. Kids are weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Man, you made this wedding into a side hustle.
I did.
Yeah.
And then I puked, so I ended up making no money. So.
Was it from being in the giant sink?
Or you can imagine maybe it was from handling all those like cans and bottles. And as a kid, maybe did I drink from any of those? Maybe. I don't know.
You gotta make sure everything's empty, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I guess that's influencing my decision.
Yeah. I love it.
I used to puke all the time as a kid. I don't know what was wrong with me. All the time. Maybe I would just sabotage my parents' my parents' outings, because I remember they would take me to an outdoors music show and definitely would puke. Or they would take me on a road trip, definitely would puke. Like it's just there was no way to win with me. It's weird.
It's just like a psychosomatic thing.
Yeah. Like I'm not the center of attention. Excuse me, but
can you guys figure out how dirty Cecil is?
He's so big.
He's so
Oh my gosh. He's so big.
He just was out in the yard of Kevin.
So fluffy.
So good. And I guess that's the other part of having kids at a wedding is like if there are kids there, then the parents are like always a little bit like half checked out because they're like making sure that their children don't like get into too much trouble.
Yeah.
So I would want to make sure that like not that I don't care about my friends' kids, but like that they have like a fun night and stuff like that. And they're not like, I'm sure a lot of them would like a date night and not have to worry about it. But then if like people are coming from in and out of town, and that makes it complicated.
Yeah.
This just sounds kind of exhausting to try and figure out all the logistics for all of these things. Okay. Weddings. Okay. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay. How many have you guys heard about the burger debate?
Is it the cheeseburger versus hamburger? This
Yes.
thing? Yes.
We
Yes.
talk about it
talked
probably
about it.
nightly at my
And
house.
this-
Oh my god.
It's any guest who comes over, we are Zoom chatting with people. We quiz them on this, so I am well versed.
Jen, are you part of the burger debate?
I'm a pretty open burger person, so I don't know if I'm truly part of the debate. So I will hear you out.
Okay, perfect. And Tim might yell at me later because I don't know if I'm phrasing it correctly with the least amount, with enough information for you to make a comment, but without influencing it.
Yeah.
So just close your eyes and pretend we're not on this podcast and we're at a barbecue and someone comes up to you and is like, do you want a burger? What do you envision receiving?
A patty and a dry ass bun.
Yeah, same.
That's it.
Mhm.
What bun, meat?
If you're at a barbecue, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Gia, what do
I-
you expect to receive?
I am firmly on the cheese side of the conversation, so
I mean,
expect
you
that there-
hope there's cheese.
No, I
Yeah.
mean I like cheese. I
But-
just wouldn't assume
So
it's
Joey, I'm a little concerned with your phrasing. I'm going to preemptively.
I
don't
knew
know-
that this was going to happen. There's no way to
Because-
perfectly phrase it.
Yeah, because I don't think it's barbecue. I think it's, or at least the way Tim has said it to me a million times, is when you're Googling hamburger,
Oh.
what is it that you expect
Oh.
to see in the Google image? Because I do think
But
of-
it's not a hamburger. It's
Oh,
burger.
sorry. Googling burger. What is it that you expect to see as like the Google search image?
yeah, probably a cheeseburger then.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, I
yeah.
would also probably see lettuce and tomato because, like, if
Yes.
you think about what people are uploading to be iconic burger pictures, it's like it needs to be appealing. It's like it's fully marketing. How do you market a burger? Like,
Right. And so
you
does
need
it
to choose.
does it include cheese or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like cheese, lettuce, tomato,
Yeah, me too.
ketchup, mustard.
So
hungry.
now we're getting into like the works. Now everything's kind of on it.
You
An
didn't say
egg.
onions.
I thought about it, but I didn't.
Pickles? Question mark?
Of
Yum.
course.
I like pickles.
All of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I default to like, I just assume anytime I'm ordering a burger, it's going to have cheese on it.
Yeah.
And
From
I
a
feel like if
restaurant,
you
yeah.
don't want cheese, then you should
Hmm.
specify that.
Because I feel like McDonald's has a burger and the cheeseburger on their
Mhm.
menu.
Yeah. And In-N-Out does too, right?
Yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
so I don't like American cheese. So I am very aware of this. Like it's top of mind when I'm ordering a burger that it may or may not have cheese and it may or may not allow me to select what type of cheese. So I am always clarifying. I say I'll have a burger. If it's an In-N-Out, I'll make sure to be like no cheese because I do think the default often has cheese.
Mm,
So it's
can see
worth
that.
noting.
yeah.
And do you feel like American cheese is normally the default?
A fast food, that's the only option. So that's where it's particularly stressful. But I think at like burger joints, like typically, yeah, American. But usually there'll be like a cheddar, or provolone, or a Swiss.
What's your favorite burger cheese?
I like a pepper jack.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
like a pepper jack. But
Mhm.
you know, I would be open to like a mozzarella. Like I'd be creative. You know, just
Maybe
no
like
American.
a brie burger with some like
Ooh.
caramelized onions or
Ooh,
something.
sounds fancy.
Oof,
I never had that, but that sounds good.
I don't know if I've ever had it either, but it sounds good.
yeah.
I've had a
maybe-
grilled cheese with brie.
Yum.
It's like really good.
cheese
yeah.
is pretty good, guys. Pretty good.
Yeah. I don't actually eat burgers, but I do eat cheese.
Have you had
That's
the
so good.
Impossible Burger?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Is
But
it
it
like well,
scares me every single time
because it's so close,
well, I mean, I think it's close, but I also haven't eaten meat in like
right?
so long. So I taste it and I'm always like scared. And then I make Kevin taste it. And then Kevin's like, yeah, this is disgusting. This isn't real meat.
Yeah, if you're a meat eater, you don't
can
ever. You're
tell.
never confused. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't tell.
Paula, I have a veggie grilled cheese recipe for you where
Ooh, I
you
want that.
roast broccoli
Oh, cool.
with a little bit of honey and then put it in your grilled cheese stovetop.
yeah.
And it's really good. And it's like heartier too. Get some green veggies in there. It's delicious.
I would eat that.
I do have some broccoli in the fridge. Maybe that's what I'll make for dinner tonight. 'Cause that sounds dope.
Joey eats grilled cheese every day.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah.
I got on a
I like
really
grilled cheese a
big-
lot, actually.
they're so
They're delicious.
good. And I was like, when all of this started, it was one of those things of like, what do I do for lunch? Because we like
Yeah.
normally just go out and eat lunch. But especially like the beginning of quarantine, I was like, I'm not going anywhere. and like nothing was even open. I was like, well, I can't order like delivery for every lunch. So I was like, I feel like a grilled cheese, and then it's just like such an easy thing to have in the house.
And it's fast. Yeah, totally.
And it is fast.
Yeah.
So good. So good. American cheese though, the grilled cheese. I feel like that's
No
the
way.
only
I do pepper
socially-
jack.
Pepper jack is the way to go.
Oh, that sounds good though.
Yeah, or cheddar. It kind of depends on what's like available. I think I just got really burnt out on American cheese because I feel like that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And then once I left home, I was like, oh, there's all these other kinds of cheeses that I can.
Is there
like,
a type of American cheese that's not Kraft, or are those like synonymous?
It's
we
like
had
cheddar
Velveeta
cheese is
slices.
just American cheese, right?
Say that again.
That's just cheddar cheese, right? Cheddar
No.
is American.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
not at
that's
all.
What is
interesting.
American cheese then?
I
It's
think
the one that's
maybe
always in plastic.
Yeah, it's plastic.
No.
No,
but
cheddar is
what's-
delicious.
because we also have like that kind of cheese in Canada. What makes it truly American cheese?
I
Do you
don't
guys call
think
it American
No
cheese?
cheese at all.
actual cheese. I think it's like a cheese product.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
Like I think
what
it's
I'd
really
guess.
fake.
So
I feel like-
Velveeta.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think it's
does it mean that some queso that uses Velveeta? No, Velveeta goes into mac and cheese, not queso, right?
I think it might go into both.
I don't. Like
I'm looking
either.
it up. We're
Does
gonna
it
get
mean
some.
Do you mean mac and cheese like Kraft mac and cheese?
yeah, like the Garbo, like children mac
Yeah.
and cheese,
I think that
which is pretty good.
I think that's its
know, right?
own genre of cheese. I don't.
Oh,
think
it says modern American cheese, which apparently there's historical American cheese, is a type of processed cheese made from cheddar, Colby, or similar cheeses.
but it's
so it is
not.
Colby?
Cheddar or Colby or similar.
What's Colby?
I think it's the one that's like spotted, right? That it's like
Not
bright
Swiss.
yellow and like light in the same slice.
Can you read us the process of the process?
Manufacturing
Dramatic
process.
Yeah.
Mhm, like
Dramatic
this is
reading.
process-
Legal
process.
definition.
Yeah, do all the
Apparently,
voices
there's also
for
a
it.
legal definition.
Yeah, I'd like to
that
hear that as
says-
well.
According to the standards of identity for dairy products, to be labeled, quote, American cheese, a processed cheese is required to be manufactured from cheddar cheese, Colby cheese, washed curd cheese, or granular cheese. I've never heard of those last two, or any mixture of two or more of these. Because its manufacturing process differs from traditional cheeses, federal law mandates it be labeled as processed American cheese if made from combining more than one cheese. So it's just like
So it's a
a combination.
byproduct.
Yeah.
How come how are cheeses different from each other?
I think it's like
Like, are they processed? Are they yeah.
I think it's the process. You have location, obviously, like
Mm.
Parmesan, maybe. Does Parmesan, is it like a appellation, like a controlled appellation? Is that how do you say that? Like a controlled,
Like it has like
Aging
champagne has to
process?
be from
yeah.
champagne.
No,
Is that
like
what you mean?
yeah, exactly. Does Parmesan, legit Parmesan, have to come from a place?
I think
know.
I think that's kind of right. That sounds familiar. I'm reading more about this Wikipedia that says processed American cheese is packaged in individually wrapped slices as unwrapped slices sold in stacks or in unsliced blocks. Blah blah blah.
I feel like Clarissa Fitz is reading me the ingredients of the next recipe, and I miss Bon Appetit so much. I'm like,
I
keep going.
know. I saw on her Instagram that her cookbook is coming out, and I was like, do we like her again? I can't remember what part of the process she ended up in. So okay, so traditional cheese is ground, combined with emulsifying agents and other ingredients, mixed and heated until it is like a normal mixture, and then they pasteurize it. So it does seem like it's just like a weird mix of like leftover cheeses that they like add a bunch of shit to.
Sounds pretty American.
Okay, may I make another cheese request? Let's talk about the truffle brie that Kevin and Paula always serve at their house.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's incredible. Paula, where do you get it from?
Whole Foods, and it's like stupid expensive.
It's worth every single
It's so
penny.
good. I know. I feel like it's the only thing people like. It's like the best thing I like make, but I don't really make it. I just put it on a platter.
Well, I love too that every time we come over, you guys serve like 3 or 4 different cheeses, and
Yeah.
then there's so much left over of the other ones, and then within minutes
All
the
of the
truffle
truffles
one's gone. Yeah.
I don't know.
Truffle
I
cheese
think
is so
truffles
good.
are just so good to me in general.
Yeah.
They're the
Truffle
best.
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Have you ever cooked with truffle oil? It's really good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
really
easy to
good.
make things taste fancy when they're not fancy.
I love it. And also, we have to give a shout out to the unexpected cheddar from Trader Joe's because,
Joey and I had a moment.
What is that?
oh my gosh.
Wait, it's
Jen.
called unexpected.
So it's called,
cheddar?
so it's a
Yeah.
Trader Joe's cheese that is a block of white cheddar. It's like a sharp white cheddar that has crystals of Parmesan in it.
Oh,
And it's very
that sounds good.
unexpected and delicious. But
This is true.
they recently just released, Trader Joe's recently just released shredded unexpected cheddar. And Joey and I both actively keep up with Trader Joe's news. So we like literally ran towards each other in our house, like met, like slammed each other. We're like, "Did you hear about the cheese? Shredded cheese?" It was.
It's
it was
very
in
exciting.
unison. It was. We're bored these days, so you should find
I
your
know.
joy.
I mean, you have to find your source of
Yeah.
entertainment somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's the girl that uploads all of the new products at Trader Joe's on a TikTok account. You know?
Oh my god, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Every day she has like here's 2 new items coming to Trader Joe's. And then she like goes and gets them. And then she does like little 10-second reviews of like if we should buy them or not.
Yeah,
How
I think I've
often-
seen the
My
content.
brother-in-law to do that. He works at Trader Joe's.
Oh yeah. How often does Trader Joe's release new products? Because I feel like they have such a finite
Much.
product set.
I think they do like a few every month because she
Mm.
also will post. These are the products that are leaving Trader Joe's this month. So like they'll rotate out. I think they just have like a big seasonal selection that they rotate in and out on like a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's your grocery store ranking? Because Trader Joe's, I've only been twice in my life, and I feel like I need to.
Oh,
fix
That's
that.
my main place, actually.
I
I
feel
mean, I would go to Whole Foods always if I like it wasn't so expensive, but
Yeah.
it is.
Trader Joe's is like for the people. It's
Yeah, it's
so affordable.
Yeah, I do feel like I end up spending way less money than I think at Trader Joe's
Mhm.
because I think for some reason mentally I always expect to spend more money. But it is so much cheaper. The like pro and con of Trader Joe's is so much of their stuff it's like all packaged food,
Gotcha.
like specialty packaged food. So I don't feel like I necessarily always love their fresh veggies because they're always like bagged and stuff like that.
Do they do delivery? Because like we haven't gone
No,
to
I
a
do
grocery
not
store.
think
in
so.
so
I
long.
haven't been since quarantine because I've been like stressed out
Yeah.
by it because they always have such long lines outside, or at least in the
Yeah.
beginning they did.
My
It looks
brother-in-law.
extra longer. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, my brother-in-law lives here and works there, so he brings me food.
That's nice.
But if he did not, we wouldn't be going there because the
Yeah.
line is nuts every single time.
Yeah. I mean, the social distancing makes it look so much longer too. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you're
I know.
wrapping up
It's
around
true.
the Target. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been using Instacart whenever I needed to buy anything from the grocery store, and I'd feel weird about it because I want to go out there and select my own stuff, and it
Yeah.
just feels so weird. I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been doing Amazon Prime delivery for groceries for like the most part. And it's been like very handy because then I don't have to like lug up all the sparkling water and Diet Coke for my car.
Yeah.
So that's very convenient. And then we have like a grocery store that's just like a couple blocks down. So like if I
Right.
ever need anything or like, especially for produce and like proteins and stuff like that, it's just super quick to go there.
Yeah.
And
So
it's an
that's it.
Asian market, so they have like 5 different kinds of broccoli, or like bok choy and broccoli, and 5 different. Yeah, they're
really good.
radishes, and it's really, really good, like
Yeah.
weird eclectic produce, and I like that a lot.
It's really great. Got to encourage your local grocery store.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. So you guys have been doing Instacart.
Yeah.
I haven't.
From buy right to like a fucking bougie ass San Francisco
Oh, yeah.
person.
Well, at least Buy Right is locally owned, right? I mean,
Yeah.
not bougie, but
Those are some fancy groceries.
yeah.
Seriously.
I've only ever been there really for the ice cream. I guess I haven't really looked at like the rest
So
of their stuff.
there's like a separate location separate locations with groceries, like
Mm.
across the street's just the ice cream shop.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one on the Visadero right next to
Oh,
what's
the
it
game
called?
place.
Yeah, Emporium. Is that
Oh, there
right?
we go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That place existed once, guys.
I was
Do you
just
think
thinking
it-
that. I was like, oh, remember when we would sit
We went
miserable in
there.
Emporium where it was too loud and too hot? We
drinking
could
canned wine.
drinking canned wine.
Way
And
too
they
much
would play
wine.
really good music, but wouldn't have a dance floor. So we would like
Yeah.
awkwardly make one, and they didn't really like
Do you
that.
think they're still? Do you think they're gonna make it? Do you think they're still open? I haven't looked them
I
up
have no idea.
There's no way they're open.
because it's all you touch the arcades and
Yeah.
If they are open, it's not a very good idea.
Yeah.
We already lost the Riddler. We're gonna lose all of our favorite
Dude, the
No.
Riddler. I should have hit you guys. Did I? I feel like maybe I texted one of you. Maybe it was Lucy. But when they started selling their silverware and the glasses, I was like, "Ooh, that's
This is
bad."
not looking great. For those of you
No.
that don't know, the Riddler is like a really cool champagne bar in San Francisco. That was our favorite because you would go and they would have this pour called the Joan, which was a glass of wine, but it was filled literally to the very top. Like it would like bubble over. And you can get it for $12.
I would love that we all used to go to a really fancy champagne bar to get the house wine that's a brim pour.
I know.
They cut you off at 2. Like
Yeah.
they let you get more
Well,
than 2
It's
shows.
the equivalent of
but
drinking a
then-
bottle, right?
Yeah, it's a whole bottle. I mean,
and you feel really fancy there.
yeah, it's so full that you can't even cheers each other. You have to like take a couple sips first.
Really sad. Hopefully they come back in some form or at some point.
They did launch the founders launched like a line of their own champagne or sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
So
it's
the
called
spirit alive.
Yeah. I think it's called femme, like like femme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
women? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it was all like female owned and everything.
Yeah. That's the other cool thing about it. Like
Mhm.
sure it was a fancy champagne bar, but it was also women owned. So that was
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah. And it was like the decor was really cool because it was like all like black and gold and fancy.
I liked that they had the reserve signs that would say like reserved for
Beyonce.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
reserved for Michelle, reserved for and the first couple times I would go, I thought they were real.
And you were like, oh my God.
I was like, this is only
How
like a
did Beyonce-
200 square foot room. Like, are we gonna be that close to Beyonce? No. The answer is no.
I still
They
have
all are flying in from everywhere.
Yeah.
when I bought the glasses, I also got one of their Joan bottles. So one day we have to do, I guess, 2 Jones because that's what's in the bottle. So we have to split them and share it and think about the good old Riddler days.
know.
Yeah.
So
Spirit
many
of the
fun,
Riddler.
I know, so many fun nights brought to us by the Riddler.
No.
And we discovered shambongs.
Oh,
because of
yes.
them.
That was the other
Which
great
I don't know
thing.
if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
well, Jen and I both own our own sets of shambongs,
We do.
so we can bring the party home.
So for people who don't know, shambongs are beer bongs of champagne. And they hit you really hard. Like
Paula,
way harder.
we should have sent you a set of shambongs for this podcast, and we
Yeah.
all could be in our
Oh
own
my
room.
God.
doing shambongs.
Oh yeah. You all would have gotten really drunk.
Just shambonging on 5:30 on a Tuesday.
I know on a
night.
Tuesday.
It's May 18th, guys. It doesn't matter.
Listen, that's the point where we're at sometimes. Oh man. Speaking of shambongs and purchasing things online, let's hear from a few of our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. From visionary filmmaker Ridley Scott in his U.S. television directorial debut, Raised by Wolves is an HBO Max original that explores questions of humanity and ideology against the backdrop of a strange and perilous new world. After Earth has been virtually destroyed by a holy war, 2 androids are tasked with raising children on a mysterious, uninhabited planet. As the burgeoning colony of humans threatens to be torn apart by religious differences, the androids learn that trying to control the beliefs of humans is a treacherous and difficult task. It's a sci-fi story of family, human emotion, and the hope of building something new. Nick Scarpino watched the premiere, and it happened last week. The show's now going on HBO Max. You should go check it out. To learn more about Raised by Wolves, subscribe now to the official companion podcast hosted by Holly Frey that also started started last week, taking fans behind the scenes of Ridley's latest sci-fi story. You can subscribe now on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. It will be there. Just make sure you're looking for the Raised by Wolves podcast there. Next up, thank you to our sponsor, DraftKings. Now is the time to celebrate for many of you out there. Football, it's finally back, and DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, has millions of reasons why you should be excited. To kick off the football season, DraftKings is giving new users a free shot at $1 million. The $1 million top prize with a total of $3 million up for grabs this Thursday's football contest. Getting in on Thursday night's single game showdown's easy. All you have to do is download DraftKings using promo code KINDAFUNNY. Draft 6 players from the season opener. Stay under the salary cap and see how your team stacks up against the competition. So head to the app now to start making it rain. Plus, new users who sign up today on DraftKings using code KINDAFUNNY will receive a free shot at the $1 million top prize with your first deposit. Nothing adds the sweat of watching a game like having a shot at $1 million payday. You can download the DraftKings app now and use code KINDAFUNNY for a limited time. New users can get a free shot at the $1 million top prize and $3 million in total prizes. Don't miss this extra special week 1 bonus. Enter code KINDAFUNNY to get a free shot at the $1 million top prize with your first deposit. That's code KINDAFUNNY only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. And finally, shout out to Honey. I've been talking about Honey forever. It has saved me personally so much money, and it has saved Kinda Funny countless money. What is Honey? These days, it feels like online shopping is the only shopping that we ever really do. Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and automatically test them when you're checking out. It's the simplest thing possible. You don't even need to think about it. It's just anytime you're buying something in a store, it automatically applies the best promo code to save you money. You get on Honey, you go to your computer for free in 2 easy clicks. It's in your browser and you never need to think about it again. It's just saving you that moolah, that dinero, that cashondo. No one's ever called it cashondo, but you'll save it too when you use Honey. Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. And I'm sure that Kevin is a large sum of that money. It's simple. If you have a computer, Honey should be on it. It's free and works with whatever browser you use. You can get Honey for free today at joinhoney.com/kinda. That's joinhoney.com/kinda. Thanks, Honey, for supporting today's episode. Once again, joinhoney.com/kinda.
So the boys had a whole podcast about who's the pickiest eater between Greg and Andy, because Greg doesn't like weird things. So I guess he's changed on some of those in quarantine.
Oh, because I'm working so hard.
Tell us about the work that you're putting in, Jen.
Tell me your secrets, because I need help with Andy.
It's exposure therapy. You just need to feed them the things that they don't like, but in small doses. Mm-hmm. And then you slowly expand to recipes that are more prominently showcase the ingredients in them. Mm-hmm. Greg used to not like onions, believe it or not, which are a staple of cuisine. He's waving.
Like raw onions or cooked onions or
all
both?
Of them. He's still like slightly on the fence about raw onions. I think I
don't like them.
I could force him. I could force him. I think they're delicious on hot dogs, personally. Not much anywhere else, actually. So maybe it's just a hot dog thing. He used to be quite averse to bell peppers. And I turned him around on that because bell peppers are delicious. I understand green peppers are the least popular ones, but if they're charred and like salted properly and still have a crisp to them, they're really good. And right. So because I started making him breakfast burritos with really finely chopped bell peppers in them, it brings like a little sweetness and a little texture to them. And I think that's what turned him around on that. And then we have really good local bell peppers or like other forms of peppers, as you know, in your produce boxes.
The Judy Nardello peppers that I have to bring to every meal.
Every meal. Yeah. It's like, what was the melon cucumbers? I don't know what to do with those anymore. Which is so many melon cucumbers.
I realized they're a little bit more palatable when you shave off the.
Oh, you have to cut the skin. Yeah.
They're a little bitter with.
Yeah.
beacons on.
So for some background, we're all subscribed to this same produce box, and we get excellent produce.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, as a normal person, you're like, what am I gonna do with that?
Yeah.
With like 3 weeks worth of cucumbers. So
It
yeah,
was the giant thing of mint that showed up that was like, ooh, what do we do with all of this mint besides
So much
mojitos?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, how many mojitos can we drink with the spearmint?
or eggplants. Like I don't know what to do with eggplants. Literally.
Eggplant
Moussaka.
Parmesan.
Yeah,
All
I
the
think
things
that's
we've had.
yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
And then I can't get him. Well, no, that's not true. Well, beans are a challenge in our house. So whenever
Which is
I
so
make,
upsetting.
Yeah.
I love beans are so good. And also once the actual apocalypse hits, like that's all we're gonna eat. It's just
Mhm.
beans, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly doom prepping him to eat beans, I guess. But when I make like the Sunday batch of breakfast burritos, I always make one with beans for me and one with no beans for Greg. And he eats breakfast burritos at an alarming pace. So he goes through his batch way faster. And he actually just decided one day, listen, I'm going to have one of these bean burritos. And he said, I did not taste the beans, which I find is progress. So
If you really hate something, you taste it. So I think
Yeah,
it is
right.
progress.
he's
Yeah.
full of shit. Yeah. Yeah. There's this one place we love getting poke burritos from. And online, because of the pandemic, you can't customize your order. And so he's held back from ordering from that place for 6 months until we went there 2 days ago. And then he finally could walk up and order. And then they put one bean in
One?
a beanless burrito, just one
Singular.
bean. And this fucking guy found it and pulled it out. Just eat it at this point. It's one bean in a burrito.
Least offensive amount of beans possible. Just
It's exposure therapy, like you
Yeah.
said.
Do you want to comment? Do you want to defend yourself on this? No? Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Paula and or Gia, are there any like weird things that you found that like Kevin or Tim won't eat that maybe they didn't share?
Well, Kevin hates pineapple.
Yeah, and avocados.
What?
He wants avocados.
Yeah.
And avocados?
Yeah, he won't eat those.
Why? Has
Um,
he ever provided a reason?
he just hates it. Pineapples, though, it's because when he was a kid, he like ate an insane amount of pineapples, and I guess cut up his mouth doing it because it's
Yeah.
really acidic, and that's
That
why he won't
happens.
eat it. But
I mean,
really, he's just against anything healthy
Oh.
at all.
So it's
So
like
I've-
a lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
his brand.
Well, I've started forcing him to drink celery juice every day. And it's like kind of hilarious because I'll hand him the thing and be like, drink this. And then I'll turn around and I'll turn back around and it's gone. He's chugged the whole thing. And he'll just be like so upset, like gagging that he drank it. But he drinks it in like 2 seconds. So I can't really complain.
Perfect. Keep at it. Avocado is upsetting to me though, because it
I love
barely
avocado.
tastes like anything.
I know.
It's more of like a texture just because it's so creamy.
Yeah, but then does he,
Guacamole.
does he hate butter? Like what's close?
No,
in
he likes
avocado?
butter.
He definitely likes butter.
See?
Yeah.
Then he doesn't like guac either, then by default.
Oh.
I feel like I hear Kevin talk about avocado toast though.
That's for me. He makes me avocado
Oh.
toast.
You guys are
And
very,
he's very good at
selfless.
making it.
You guys are very selfless in the kitchen. Like you make him bacon and meat and you don't eat that. And then he makes you avocado toast.
I only make bacon though. I don't really know how to make anything else meat related.
Bacon's pretty.
That's still
pretty
impressive.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Well, bacon's easy. You just put it on there, and I know because it like kind of shrivels up.
Yeah.
Are you a pan bacon person or a stove bacon person?
I make it on a pan on the stove for
Mm,
him.
girl, I'm
like-
about to change your life.
Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Baked oven bacon.
Oh, it's
12
better?
minutes. 12 minutes on a baking sheet, no splatter. 400 degrees, 12 minutes, no splatter.
Oh, nice.
And then you just pluck it out and it's perfect.
Okay, I should do that.
It's great. And also you don't have to wear any clothes when you make it, which in the morning sometimes you're like,
You,
know,
have to wear like a significant amount of clothes to make bacon because butter get
bacon
everywhere.
grease. Yeah, bacon grease
Yeah,
splatter
it's
on
scary.
your boobs is really painful.
Jen, when you say that, do you literally mean no clothes or you just mean not like protective wear?
Yeah.
The pants.
Do you
It's
guys
a
have any food aversions? Like anything that you're like really specific about not liking?
I'm picky with dark meat. Like I'm pretty good with meat. I like red meat. I like poultry, I like fish, all that stuff. But I do not like dark meat poultry.
Like duck and ostrich and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then like even dark meat chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a gamey thing and also maybe a texture thing. I don't like grizzle and that, but eat everything.
Yeah, I'm
else.
pretty with you. I'm not. I pretty much hate tomatoes. There's something
Really?
about the
Oh, I
texture.
love tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't like. I like them cooked, but like raw, not really my jam. Even
Have
like
you had the
pico?
heirloom tomatoes though?
Yeah, they're
From
so good.
Oh yeah.
No, but do I need to try them?
Yeah,
You
they're
should.
delicious.
Lucy hates tomatoes and she tried them and she said they were okay. So
I can settle for okay. Are those the ones that are just like all multicolored?
yes, and they have like ridges on them.
They're shaped like little pumpkins, kind of.
Yeah.
Is it heirloom tomato season?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or what? We're either in the
we're
thick
on
of
the
it.
cusp
We're
of
on
the
the
end
cusp
of it.
of
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll adventure to the store. See if I can pick one up. I think most of it is just the texture because it's like so slimy.
I have a testimonial from a tomato hater.
Yes, please tell me, Lucy.
I enjoyed it, honestly, and I hate tomatoes. So
Do you not like the texture of them or the flavor?
texture, it's a texture thing I can't do. But I think
Are they
I'm
like more
I
grown
get
on
it.
the inside?
But I liked it,
Yeah.
but I still wouldn't buy it myself.
But you wouldn't like pick it out of something or refuse to eat them.
Yes, like if it was presented to me as it was in that lovely breakfast you made, I'll eat it.
Dressed. I was not naked.
But otherwise,
Perfect.
probably still wouldn't buy it.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I don't like eggplant, but only because I haven't figured it out. I like eggplant parm, but other than that, it just like absorbs moisture. So like it just gets really oily, and you're like, so it's
Have
more
you
like
tried like brining, like salting it first? Not brining, but salting it.
Or
yeah,
you,
but then what do? Do you like
put
wipe
the
it off?
breadcrumbs on it.
And then you wipe it off,
Yeah.
but it makes it less bitter.
Oh.
Well, if you
Mm.
put like salt on it and like wait for like 30 minutes, all this moisture comes out of it too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
easier to like fry. Or
And then it's
whatever.
like not slimy. Yeah.
And then do you wipe?
It's like when you press
wipe the
tofu.
salt
Yeah,
on
then
it?
you press like paper towels on it. And that's how you start to make eggplant parmesan. You get all the moisture out.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Have you tried doing do you guys have a wok?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like do like a big like a sort of Chinese stir fry.
And just like cube it and put it in
Mhm.
there. Hmm.
I like that. That's how I sneak it into Tim's meals.
You're a big toddler. What's the thing you struggle the most hiding from him in a meal, but you really want him to eat?
Tofu.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because he always is surprised that it's tofu. And he always he like is always so alarmed and he thinks it's like cheese or he thinks it's chicken. And then he eats it and he makes a lot of faces. And then I'm like, it's tofu. And he's like, oh, yeah, I like tofu. I'm like, you clearly don't. But yeah, I would
like,
like tofu is the one I can't. It doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Good.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, so I probably cook with tofu like a couple times a year because Tim does not like tofu.
Mm. Oh, another fucked up thing that Greg doesn't like: corn that's not on the cob, but he's okay with corn on the cob. He says loose corn feels like having a mouthful of teeth.
Huh.
And I'm like, but once you bite the cob,
You have a mouthful of teeth.
yeah. I don't know. And I love making like salad that has corn kernels and like tomatoes and
Corn salsa.
yeah.
So good.
And soup also. He doesn't like soup because it's got the texture of vomit, which I'm like, what kind of
He's weird about textures.
Yeah, because he doesn't like curries or something, right?
Yeah,
Like, he doesn't like
chili,
Indian food.
curries, anything that has a liquid and a solid in it. He's like, no
Mm.
thanks.
Jen, I feel like it's opposites attract because we started this conversation with you talking about throwing up at weddings.
Yeah.
And now
Very accurate.
your husband's scared. Do you like throw up on him a lot? Is there like trauma there?
It has to be a trauma thing. It has to be.
Oh my gosh.
Fun
Paula, do you have
fact-
anything that you hate?
Well, I just don't eat meat or any
yeah,
meat
but that's
products.
respectable. Yeah.
And I'm like very like, like I don't make any exceptions at all. Like I don't even eat goat cheese because it has like this enzyme apparently from like goat stomachs. But I'll eat anything that's vegetarian. It's just that like rules out a lot. So I feel like I'm the picky eater because I'm always that person where it's like I can't go to that restaurant.
I've seen you eat like a lot of French fries for dinner.
I mean, I don't know. I like French fries. Yeah, in Hawaii, I one time ate only like tater tots for a day because there was nothing in anywhere we could go.
But see, like I think that's such a strong personality trait about you. Like you have such great boundaries for yourself, and I admire it because
oh, thanks.
I will get swayed left and right into doing stuff or eating things that I'm not excited about. So yeah,
I'm just a very stubborn. Well, I was a very stubborn kid when I started it too.
Yeah, I mean that's a fascinating thing to me is you started so young, like you had the capacity to be like, no, I refuse, and your parents were like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't really like it, but they respected it.
Yeah,
I appreciated it. Yeah, and then I don't think there's anything I really won't eat. I'm very like every day I'm kind of annoying about getting enough protein. Like I kind of hate protein shakes, but I make myself drink them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it.
I really hated mustard for a really long time.
I like
but
mustard.
that's like another quarantine discovery where it's like, oh, I actually really like mustard.
Oh,
we should do a mustard ranking, Joey, because we have like 6 different kinds of mustard in our family.
I love mustard. Have we ever been together we've never been to House of Prime Rib together.
No.
Never been.
Or having
oysters. Actually, I've never been there.
So I'm one of these weird people who are addicted to the biting feeling that's in your sinuses.
Sinus?
I like that too.
Is it the wasabi feeling?
Yeah. Yes, and you're like,
love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah, and it's like
I kind of like it too.
It's a painful experience, and so
no, I don't want to eat sushi unless I'm also crying while I'm eating it.
Exactly. And so I thought I was godlike and immortal until I went to House of Prime Rib this one time. Which for people who don't live in San Francisco, it's like a staple in the city where it's an old 70s type place where they roll up a meat cart and they carve it out for you, and it's amazing, and it's gigantic portions of meat. Sorry, Paula. Of course you've never been to House of Prime Rib.
I might have with Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin would really like it.
Yes.
I mean,
they have really good sides to be fair.
Yeah. And so they prep everything tableside, but then they have 3 levels of horseradish that they bring to your table. And as someone with 0 chill, I immediately went for the hottest version of it. And I put a huge dab on my meat and I put it in my mouth, and I almost straight up choked and died at the table. And I don't even know how to describe it. I saw Greg, like his own life flashing before his eyes because clearly I was in distress. And I don't know what almost happened, but it was not good. It's a thing where you start like choking and you're like, okay, this is it. This is it. And
if it's like in your sinuses, then it's like breathing, which you need to do, really hurt.
You can't because it was so strong that it shut down like my respiratory. Like I don't know. It was scary, but then I had some more and it was fine.
So I'm confused about the sauce. So, because like, is it just more horseradish?
The intensity of it, I think.
They just add more into the sauce or whatever.
Yeah, I think they dilute it with something when it's weaker.
Interesting.
Maybe vinegar, because it's like very like mustard is mustard seeds and vinegar, right?
I think. I don't know.
Maybe some oil, like a thickening agent,
an emulsion of some sort.
What is in mustard? Let's go on this episode 2 of Bon Appetit.
Mustard. I'm on it. Condiment made from seeds of a mustard plant. That's not helpful. That's all it says. Are mixed with water, vinegar, lemon juice, wine, or other liquids with salt and other flavorings and spices to create a paste or sauce.
So what's the emulsifier in there? It's just like the natural thing of mustard?
I guess so. Well,
Whipping.
There's so many different ones, so it's kind of hard to tell.
But let's absolutely have a mustard tasting.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
please.
have a really strong like German mustard in my fridge, and it bites you in the face, and it's like, let's go.
I'm into it.
Because you know what's excellent with strong mustard like that? Deep
Sausages?
fried, yes, but also deep fried squash blossoms.
Yum.
Oh my gosh.
I would eat that.
So
An herbed cheese stuffed squash blossom. One of my favorites.
Squash blossoms are so great, and also I hate them because they're good for one day. Like if you find them in the farmer's market, they're like, I'm beautiful, and then the next day it's like, help.
There was some night, or maybe it was a brunch that Andy joined us, and we got a bunch of weird food. Jen, you were there. We got a bunch of weird food, and one of them was squash blossoms.
Foreign cinema?
It was foreign cinema, and he told Tim later, he's like, I'm never going to brunch with you again.
Why?
We went too hard.
Too pushed.
Andy was just like hoping for like pancakes and bacon.
We had oysters and squash blossom.
Tartar, I'm sure. Oh man. I'm sorry, Andy, that we've scarred you. But maybe if you just tried mac and cheese.
I mean, I feel like I'm the one who's being scarred because constantly I'm trying to get this boy into our kitchen whenever we're making normal ass meals and just have him eat some normal food.
Yeah.
He refuses to do it.
What
is there a backstory
normal
to the mac and cheese thing?
No, I don't.
He just didn't grow up eating it.
Yeah.
Because
we reflect on the Andy and mac and cheese thing a lot in our household. It's like a hot topic.
And now they
think
have
at
the
one point
spicy hot Cheeto mac and cheese.
I know.
Why won't he eat it?
I think at one point he just like realized he had never eaten it, and now he just like wants to keep up this streak of never eating it, and like maybe I think he's built up more in his head that it's grosser. Like he thinks he's making it out to be grosser than it actually is, and it just makes no. Fucking, oh hey Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Andy.
Does he like queso? Because we can make him. Because queso is like it would be an insane mac and cheese. Honestly, just straight up.
I feel like his gateway needs to be like a really, really fancy mac and kind of like what you were saying. Like you need to start with a very complicated dish that has a couple of the ingredients, and then we get like more of the pure form as we go on. I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay. Pull out the Velveeta.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We should revisit this queso mac and cheese thing, though.
Yeah.
I'm mildly aroused right now.
I have to do some trial and error on that one because that sounds like that could be a really fun thing to master. Okay. What else do we have? Oh yeah. So at one point, the boys also theorized what they would be doing in an alternate universe. Like if you had made like one or two like different decisions, is there any like alternate path you could have taken in life? Like did you have to decide between like two different majors, or did you have like some desire that didn't pan out?
Well, yeah, 1,000 ways. I think this could go so many different directions. For a really long time, I wanted to be an astronaut, but my dad was so anti-army that I was like, the army is the only path to becoming an astronaut, so I don't think I can be an astronaut. And also, I can't count. Like, I have numbers dyslexia, so I can't do math. I need to look at it, like, and think about it and numbers. If I ever would be in a projections or like finance meeting with any of you, you can't ask me for a figure because I'm going to say the wrong thing systematically to the point where it became a joke at my previous job, where if we were having budget meetings, I would have to have printouts because I can't remember a number correctly. It's fascinating. It's horrifying. Then I wanted to be a pilot, and then I took flight.
It's like really all about not being on Earth.
Yeah.
I want to explore.
No, we keep having this conversation where Lucy and Greg never want to go to space, and I'm like, fucking send me to space. I want to be in space. I love the idea of not knowing what's out there and maybe I'll die and it's fine, you know? Like, I don't know. They don't want to go to space. Do you want to go to space? I want to go to space.
I want.
I want to go to space. I want to go to space more. I like the idea of space more than I like the idea of finding out what's in the ocean. The ocean is like particularly scary to me.
I agree
But
with
space
that.
is
The
exciting.
ocean has a
I
bottom.
mean, we really don't know what's in a lot of the ocean.
Yeah.
So dark.
We also don't know what's in space, though.
That's very true.
But I feel like the space has more openness than the ocean. Like at some point, you're going to reach the bottom, and then the pressure of the water is going to just crush you to death.
Yeah, but
And
outer
whereas
space is gonna
You're
suffocate
going to
you very
expand
quickly.
and explode. I don't know.
I guess I'd rather
Neither are safe.
suffocate immediately than have to like go
I
through
guess
the
I would
like
too. It's quick.
few minutes of drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
drowning
you-
is scary.
You would be amazed the whole time you're dying in space because you're like, I don't know what to expect next. Or
That's true. It feels like it would be less painful, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna live with that thought in my head just in case I ever end up in space.
But yeah, no, so I think that would have been, if I hadn't met Greg, that would have been, I had this clear trajectory, and I've said that, I've told this story on a podcast before, I think, but I had this clear trajectory in my head where I was out of a really long relationship and I had been dating aggressively for 2 years at that point. And I was convinced that I was going to die alone because I couldn't find anything that matched my heart's desire. And so I was like, okay, cool. Just going to focus on my career, get my flight license, my pilot license. And then I'm going to start a game studio between 30 and 40, sell it at 40, become a bush pilot, and I'm going to have a dog with me in my plane. And then I'm going to be on my way to flying like a load of supplies to the northern territories of Canada, and then I'm going to crash and die. My dog survives, eats my body, and then is free into the wilderness. And that was my...
That is
Very vivid.
Is that like your nightmare or like what you
No,
want?
that was just reality.
Yeah. And I was like 3 classes in to my flight license, my pilot license. And then the following class was supposed to be loss of control, where you literally have to bank your plane and start spinning and like just make your way down, and you have to like bring it back up. And I totally chickened out. So like meeting Greg was very convenient because I definitely didn't want to take that class of loss of control.
That sounds like
I didn't know that pilots had to do that. Had to
Yeah,
had to take
oh,
a
yeah.
class. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean I knew you had to take classes to learn how to fly, but I didn't know. I never thought about the loss of control portion of it.
Yeah. But they
But
have it's
Yeah.
like a driver's license thing where they can regain control if they have to. The most
I guess
terrifying thing,
you wouldn't want your first time to be like on a plane with people.
Yeah.
but it's like it's
No, of course, yeah.
fascinating. It's fascinating because they let you fly day one. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess we're gonna do this, and then they do takeoff and landing. But in the middle of it, you're like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, and they're very. My teacher was very, very nice. The most shocking thing is the weight of the plane. It was a single engine Cessna that I started. Not a Cessna, because I think a Cessna by default has 2 engines. But pushing it out on the tarmac is nothing. You can do it on your own. Even like you're a tiny person. It's like a giant glorified lawnmower. It's really scary.
I was expecting it to be like a car or something where it's like you can do it, but it's gonna like take a few people.
Or like you have to be like in an intense moment of crisis where your adrenaline hits in and you just
But yeah, anyway, so one day I might pick it back up in the States because it's different from in Canada. So yeah, it's fun. It's so fun.
Cool.
It's so fun.
I want you to do it because then I want to fly with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's go somewhere.
This is a fun little adventure.
I'll
Gee, do
send
you
you
think
some pictures from the podcast thumbnail. Sorry, go ahead.
oh my gosh, yes. We're gonna make Jen a pilot for the podcast thumbnail.
Love it.
Gia, do you think that you would be doing anything differently at any point?
Yeah. So the boring real answer is that I would probably be in publishing, book publishing, because I did do some internships in college for that. And it was less creative and more businessy in a way that at the time I didn't want and didn't like. But the fantasy answer is that I would be an SVU detective.
Oh,
crime.
yeah.
But I can't say that in this household because I live with Cool Greg, who watches crime shows and roots for the perpetrators. So we
Cool
both. Go
I
ahead.
guess I never thought about that of why he watches SVU.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't have thought of that either.
it's deeply disturbing when it's SVU because it's like you're rooting for sure, like the bad guys in the worst way. If you're Cool Greg, but yeah, I would be an SVU detective, and
You'd be so
An
good.
intense
Yeah, you'd be
job.
good at it.
yeah, I think I'd be good. I like really think about it a lot because I watch Law and Order SVU a lot, so I do feel like I would be good at it.
It's never
Um,
too late.
I'm
Gia.
sure there's a height requirement that I don't meet, frankly. I've also thought about that. But Joey, wait, will you look that up for me right now?
Yes,
in
I
case I
will.
need to-
Absolutely.
I think you can. I think like you could
why
have
would
a very successful career and quit and then move on at 40 or 50 and be an
Yeah.
SVU detective. Detectives are old and stupid. They're
I
mostly
know, but you need to be a cop first,
Old
right? Like, so you have to have passed like the cop.
Yeah, I think you have to have been a cop for a certain amount of
Yeah,
time.
and
right?
there may be a hard.
But again, Jen's right. You could do that if you wanted.
What if we all start our PI like office?
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
I'd be into it. I'd be
I'm
into it.
so I'm sorry, but it looks like law enforcement physical requirements is that you have to be at least 5'8".
What? Really?
No, for women.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't do that.
Oh my god,
Like,
Gia,
it's
your
discriminatory.
dream.
I mean, there's like not great things. Like, I don't know if employmentlawworldview.com is a great resource for this. But
Full
It's
sword.
on the internet. It must be true.
yeah, keep talking. I'll keep looking.
Okay. Yeah, I want a rigorous source for this, but I do think I probably am not going to grow 8 inches to then become a cop. And
I love that Tim came in as you said. I don't think I'm going to grow 8 inches. And he's not asking you any questions.
no, I'm a little lightweight obsessed with height because I'm 5 feet tall. So it's
Yeah.
such a hot topic in my life. And
Yeah.
so he's probably heard me talk about growing 8 inches many times.
Do you feel like you're much taller than you are? Because that's my case.
Yeah. No, I'm tall. I'm
6 feet. At
I'm a
least.
mini tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel that way.
The most shocking thing to me is whenever Greg and I walk in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're not the same height.
I'm this short? No way. No. I couldn't believe your
So
ass.
my company where I work has hired a couple people in quarantine who none of us have met in person.
Yeah.
And so one time we made one of our new people guess how tall each of us was. We'd never met. And she did think I was 5'7".
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got that
I
5'7"
can see
energy,
that.
5
Yeah.
foot package.
Mildly threatening, beautiful long legs.
If only.
Okay, so I'm looking, and it looks like for women, at one point the standard was 5'2", which I
Okay.
feel like we could finesse for you.
Yeah.
But now, as I'm like digging around a little bit, it looks like they're more concerned with like your height to weight ratio of like in like your overall ability to do the job.
I'm that I can deliver on. I
Yeah.
feel. And I also, when I was under 21, I used to use my roommate's ID, and she was 5'7", and not a single bouncer ever questioned me being 5'7".
It's
looked-
they never paid
like
I would, I
energy.
would stand up like this every time. Like I would be on my tippiest tiptoes, big person energy, and
The tallest heels possible.
yeah, I was like teetering on 6-inch heels. And you know what? Got to drink underage. I won't put that on my application to become a cop, but
Yeah. If that actually happens, we might have to take this episode down
Yeah, seriously.
so that we don't incriminate you further.
I'll make a note of that. I'll put that
Thank
down
you,
as a time
thank you.
code so we can
What
take
about
it.
being on like CSI or something? There's probably no height requirement for that.
no, I want to be. It's
That
not
would be
necessarily
cool.
that I want to be in the field. Well, so I'm not a great scientist. Good at numbers, Jen, if you need help, but
Great.
not great at the science piece. So I probably could be good at like a PI thing or something with data. I'd be
Yeah.
good at, but I'm not going to be there with like a petri dish looking at specimens. So I'd like to be in the field as a working detective in this fantasy.
Hey, listen, you can come on my plane and then we can go like a buddy cop movie, just like, find evidence in the bush.
I show up my private jet with Gettys.
Moose can have a little trench coat. And
Oh my gosh, and then fly
Get him a
goggles?
trench coat
Yes.
though, because I like that idea.
We do have he does have a little aviator jacket. But we haven't gotten him the goggles yet. So we'll get there.
Sick. I really think we should have a PI agency, everyone.
This would be good. This
I
would be
love
great.
this.
Yeah.
I love somebody gives me a little tidbit of information. It's like, what else can I find? I will say I learned from Gia that LinkedIn is like particularly helpful.
Oh yeah.
No one
my
is
God.
fronting. I mean, you're fronting in a different way on LinkedIn, but you can always find how old people are. Always,
Yeah.
always. 'Cause it's
Really?
like-
And also everyone
Yeah.
is
By seeing
terrible
what
at
year they
dating.
graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
as someone who does PR as a part of their career, like I'm a professional stalker. I can figure out, and LinkedIn
Yeah.
is at the center of everything because everyone had to use LinkedIn at least once, and it's usually the platform that people forget to update.
Well, no, that's the thing this is how I figured out that LinkedIn is the source of truth for everything is the Bachelor contestants
Yeah.
before they get on the Bachelor have to
Really?
delete all their social profiles. But LinkedIn is still up. Everyone forgets about LinkedIn.
It doesn't count as a social media platform.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's networking.
It's
They have to
network.
delete like their Instagrams and everything?
They have to private.
Oh, okay, got it.
Private it.
But I will say my second favorite thing to stalk people on is Venmo. Because
Oh,
people just forget that it's open.
I realize a lot of people are dating secretly. Via
Oh
Venmo.
yeah, you can tell just with like the nature of the transaction or the emojis. You're like,
I know.
Yeah.
frequency.
If you're Venmoing back and forth like multiple times a week, there's usually something.
Or like first of the month because you're splitting rent and you're not telling anyone that you live together.
Also true.
Long con. Yeah.
I can't imagine dating right now. It must be crazy.
I know.
Does not sound fun.
No.
I feel bad for
know.
people dating.
Well, and it's just, I mean, I guess it could be fun if you're just like really into the like, I just want to like casually talk to people. And like, if you're not somebody that like actually wants to go on dates, but you just want to talk to people. But the
It seems
idea of sitting on like a Zoom first date sounds
Yeah.
like very not exciting.
No,
It seems like it would have to be really casual or really serious. Like
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
go one way or the other.
Yeah.
but then I would feel like I'm just having a meeting with the person.
I know.
It's like, oh,
It's like strange enough right now to be talking to you guys like this, right? Because we usually have this energy exchange too in the same room where now
yeah.
I'm waiting for you to finish talking. And then there's a pause. And then, oh, is she going to speak first?
Yeah. It is like you have to balance all of the like weird technology things.
Yeah.
I do like that you wouldn't have to shave your legs for every date.
Yeah.
Like that would save me some time.
Yeah.
And
Some
really
razor
not feel
blade.
good from like here up.
Yeah, you could be in underwear on the bottom, pajama
Never
pants.
know.
Yeah.
Or
And I
your
guess
face.
like,
Nothing, maybe. Who knows?
ooh, getting real
Who knows?
spicy. And like, I guess if the date was really bad, you could just like disconnect everything and be like, oh, my internet went out.
Yeah.
Because you can't really just like bail.
It's
But-
the easiest way to ghost people in a long time. Like, shut the computer.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened.
Oh.
What would Joey in an alternate universe be? I was in an alternate universe. So my major in college was cultural anthropology,
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
which I'm like not particularly using right now. But I really liked my like senior capstone project was on like tourism anthropology of and it was like just kind of researching it and looking at different programs that people had implemented in different countries of like how do you have a tourism business in a country that like doesn't detrimentally affect the people that live there or like take advantage of them.
Yeah.
So like that always seemed like something that could be like really fun to like go to a country and like figure out how to like have some like more real activities for people to do that showed more of like what the culture or the people or like what their specialties actually were versus just like the tourist version of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
that's
would always
very
be fun. I always like wanted to like live abroad for a while and do stuff. So I think I would have done something kind of like that.
That would
Totally.
be cool.
Yeah, that's
Or
very
been a
cool.
marine biologist, but I'm not good at science. But that was
Science
like what childhood Joey always wanted to be.
Because you liked fish.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think I just really liked
was an
dolphins
interesting
for a while.
Subject in school.
Mm-hmm.
I thought marine biology was interesting
Totally.
because like you're learning about like all these gigantic like things that live underneath the water
Yeah.
that we never see,
Yeah.
and most
And,
of
like,
the earth is water. And
ecosystems.
yeah,
We should go whale watching, you guys.
I would go to do
I've
that.
never been.
I got
Oh,
so
it's fun.
seasick.
I have, but I've never actually seen a whale watching.
The
Again,
seasick aspect is interesting.
Yeah.
Paula,
Was the
did
water?
you?
Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say, what would you be in your fantasy
I
life?
think I'd be writing. I do write for fun, but like,
You're
my major
great
was
at it.
creative writing. And that was what I want to do is I wanted to write young adult novels. And then I wound up my minor was animation, and I, started to get these good internships, and I went in that direction. But yeah, I think I always like I've written every day of my life since I was like maybe 13. So, and I
Wow.
still do. And I have like, I don't know, a lot of young adult books that like, no one's ever seen. So I think that's what I'd probably be doing if I wasn't an animator. I think I'd be.
Would you ever combine the two and
I was
write your
gonna
own?
say,
Yeah. Produce your own project?
I don't know, because like for 3D animation, it's like you actually need a whole team of people to make something like that. Like if you look at a Pixar movie, it's like not like one person is doing everything. It's like, there's someone doing concept art, someone else modeling, someone's rigging, someone's animating, someone's lighting. So like, I don't know. It sounds like a really fun concept, but I'm not totally sure.
Would you ever consider doing creative writing in the games industry, like as part of the narrative team, or?
I don't know. Honestly, I worked so hard at this point to become an animator
Yeah.
that I think I'm gonna, like, as far as games
Honestly,
and
you would be
films go.
unstoppable. With your animation skills and like if the capacity to be a creative writer, you would be unstoppable.
But
If you
aren't
were
those
to
like totally different spectrums though?
No, because if you think about, let's say, the cinematics team in the
Oh,
AAA
yeah.
universe, like you would be fucking killing it because you're the Venn diagram of everything that's
Yeah.
happening there.
Maybe, although I've never really
Conceptualized
written
story.
scripts. I more write like young adult novels and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't normally write it like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's something to think about.
Let's
The
make
thing
it
that always
happen, Paula.
was really not fun is like pitching your books to
Oh
publishers.
yeah, I can't
Like,
imagine how vulnerable.
I did it for I would go in phases where I'd like be like, I'm gonna try this, and then it just, it's awful. Like you just submit it, you hear nothing back, and you do that 100 times, and then you're like, this is like a waste of time. I should just write more.
Well, so few publishing houses like even will look at
Exactly.
unsolicited manuscripts. So I like as an intern working in that industry, that was like my job, and we were one of the few publishing houses that would even accept them. So it's like it's really, really competitive, and an intern is looking at your stuff for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
And that's why I just like put a book like up online for free, because I was like, I don't know, I don't really care
Yeah.
about making money off this. I'm just gonna put it up there, and then people can read it if they want. And it was
all
really
right,
fun.
listen. Here's my pitch.
Okay.
PI agency with crime, like creative stories on the side.
Yeah.
So
I could do that.
Yeah.
I like this.
we use our learnings, Gia, Joey, and I, on our investigations to feed you storylines, and then you just go crazy.
Turn them into
Ooh,
thrillers.
yes. I love it. Okay. Let me see what we have going for the last question. I want to talk about, because I feel like at least a few of you, I want to talk about the best hair at Kind of Funny between the boys, mostly because I want to talk about your guys' hair cutting adventures from your perspectives on having to open up barbershops in your home.
I feel overly confident about my skill set because Greg has straight hair.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, like Gia, oh my god, the scale of the task at hand, because he's got incredibly curly hair. I mean, Kevin, I don't know what Kevin's hair texture is, like slick back mostly.
Like his texture, it's just like extremely thick.
Okay, but
He
not
just has, like,
curly.
cream. I wonder if it got longer, it would get curly because his sister
Mm.
Carol has like crazy,
true.
like pretty curly hair.
But his roots are
God.
straight, which
Let's
makes
give
That is
cutting
true,
it
yeah. But it might be
easier.
like kind of. I don't know. It's never been that long, but
Let's give him a perm.
yeah.
Like
He
I
hasn't
like
cut
giving
his
him a
hair.
mullet.
He hasn't cut his hair since Andy cut his hair.
huh.
Oh my gosh, really?
That's a lot. Yeah, he's not cut it. My hairdresser came to my house to do my hair, and I said, like, "Do you want her to cut your hair?" And he was like, "No, he thinks any haircut over $20 is like too expensive." So he said no.
I feel for the first time I cut Greg's like top hair with scissors, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then Lucy asked me if I could cut her hair, and I said no, absolutely not. Like I cannot imagine cutting women's hair.
No,
Well,
that's
is it a blunt haircut though? Is it like just a? Is it all one length though?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'd be so scared because in function of the part, and then do you do a straight cut or do you cut
But
in like,
Brad Mondo made a video how to do it.
so that's what she watched to cut her own hair, and she did an amazing job. But my thing is, I could never live with the guilt of screwing her haircut up because she looks beautiful, and I couldn't. Mm-mm.
I get that.
Joey asked me
She
to cut
had
her
to do
hair, and I also said no because
Yeah.
she also like Joey has gorgeous, thick,
Mhm.
curly, beautiful hair, and I was like, that seems complicated.
You've got amazing hair, Joey.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up,
I know, but I'm like very not attached to my hair. Like I love my hair.
and it grows.
But, like
I'm attached to your hair for you. Like I wish I had this hair. Like,
it's one of those things though. It's like, oh, like if whatever color I'm trying to do doesn't work, or like if the cut is kind of wonky, it's like, oh, whatever, like I'll cut it off and it'll grow back. And like
Yeah, that's how I feel about my hair too.
oh my god, I have
But I'm-
like thinning, horrible hair. And I'm like, eh. Whenever they give you a tutorial about how to make a beautiful bun, like my bun is big like this because it's like that's how much thickness I got going on. It's like me. That's it.
donuts, and that looks big and poofy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're really easy to use too.
So Greg did let you cut the top part of his hair.
Yes, and I think I did a really good job too, because it was like having a situation here, and I was like, no, too emo, too dramatic,
Too much.
Yeah, but has Tim allowed you to cut the top of his hair yet?
No, so he's very comfortable with the sides, which I enjoy all of it. Like I'll do whatever. But he has not let me touch the top of his hair, and he won't let me shave Moose's butt, which I really want to do. Because I don't know if you can see this furry little butt, but it needs a shave.
Yeah,
Really
there's a lot happening in there.
It needs a little some maintenance, but Tim won't let me do any DIY on Moose. So
What's he gonna do? Moose doesn't have any Zoom meetings. Nobody cares.
No, I mean, I'll get graphic if you'd like me to, but things get trapped in that little butt.
Oh no, I
that
meant
little-
like if you give him a crazy haircut, no one's gonna comment.
Yeah, that's true too. But well, his main concern was that I was going to use Tim's shaving tools, shaving apparatus for it, which I was like, yeah, I mean, that's what we got. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Whatever.
It's all good.
That's fine.
But no, Tim won't let me touch the top of it.
The locks
seems
are
stressful.
fascinating. He's just like he's got a cloud going on.
I know. I'm like, it can't look worse, Tim. Like, I love you, but it can't look worse.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. I've never cut anybody's hair.
it's stressful.
Have you cut your own hair, Joey?
No. I've never done it. Because in high school, like, I always had, like, there was my one friend, Allie, who was always like, let's dye people's hair and let's cut it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So she just always did it. And then she, like, actually went and got her cosmetology license, and she, like, still does my hair to this day, but she, like, knows what she's doing now.
I was
So I
that
just always,
friend.
yeah. Paula, I'm telling you, I'd let you cut my hair if you were interested in that.
Yeah, Paula, I would trust you with my life.
Paula, do you want to shave Moose's little butt?
I am very of all those things, I am the most scared to shave Moose because I'm afraid about cutting him.
There's so much fur. You'll have to get really in there to hit skin.
And he's so wiggly. I feel like
know.
I would also be very stressed out by that. So I feel you.
I
know,
love that
just
he
get
has
moves.
not left you for a single
I
second.
know.
Tim took him for a second and then put him on a chair where he can't jump off, so he was just marooned there by himself on this chair. Baby.
Gosh,
He's so
poor
cute.
Moose. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us on the
Yeah.
kind of honey, kind of funny podcast. It was good to see your faces.
I know.
Hopefully, at some
Yeah.
point, we'll get together, and on the next one, we'll be able to talk about our new PI business and the queso mac and cheese that we've perfected.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much to everybody that was listening. You can catch the show every week on youtube.com/kindoffunny or on podcast services, or you can get it early with some bonus things that we're going to be talking about after on patreon.com/kindoffunny. Until next time, we'll see you later.